Hi, Tim. How are you?
Hi, Julie. I'm so glad to be here with you today.
Thank you so much for joining us here. We are very happy and honored that you've joined us on this platform. So, Tim, do you want to tell our viewers a little bit about your journey?
Sure, my journey is getting a little long at this point. I was born in 1949, and and from an early age, I there are two things that have really been the base of my love of this life that I have, and one of them is nature, and this beautiful earth that we live on.
Okay.
And the other is finding my way into the women's movement.
Okay.
I was one of the uh, early 1970s, let's get some women's centers together, women, and that began really in my childhood too. So at the same time as I was discovering this beautiful planet, I was discovering the need to do something about the way women are treated on this planet.
Okay. So, Tim, what inspired you back then when you started your journey?
Well, I was lucky enough to have a mother who absolutely adored nature too. So as a child, every summer we were taken into the woods to sleep in tents and swim in lakes. And also at the age of 8, I was given a little piece of the backyard of where we lived to have my own garden.
Okay.
And those things really shaped me because all of my thinking was rooted in the the ideas that came from me because of that openness that we have when we're in nature and when we're growing food and when we're just really in tune with and able to do something with the beauty that nature offers.
Okay. So, tell me, Tim, what was the biggest challenge you faced in your life?
Ah, well, I would say the biggest challenge is an ongoing challenge,
Okay.
uh, and that is that the more I discover about the way women are treated on this planet, uh, the deeper I see the need for us to come together to make this change. And the biggest challenge for me has been to be taken seriously as a woman.
As a woman. So
Yes.
that is a question I have been asking a lot of young women who are starting new. That have you missed out on any opportunities just because you are a woman, or did you have to fight your way through to, make a difference and make a living?
It's definitely something that being a woman is definitely something that automatically holds us back in so many steps as we take our steps along our own journeys.
Yes.
Somebody, if they see us as being a little too loud, a little too strong, a little too wanting too much as far as the kind of job that we know that we're capable of doing, there are so many roadblocks, and so we have to just learn how to keep going through them, and some of them can be really debilitating. Some of them can be violent, some of them can be intellectually violent. uh, so the biggest challenge all through my life has been to trust myself and know that I'm here to make the world more beautiful and to make the world more peaceful, and that there is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing too radical about that. We need radical change,
True.
and to hold on to the vision that I have, that of a world in which there is this beautiful leadership of women which is missing in
True.
the world because of the way we're held back.
True. So, is there any particular moment or memory you would like to share with our viewers which stands out for you?
Well, yes, and this too is the is that connection between nature and women. In North America, there are some incredible women musicians who have never been able to get onto stages because as many of the fields of work, it was dominated by men and they were considered to be not really good. And so in the woods, and this is in the United States, but within driving time for me, there was this enormous camp that developed of meeting in the woods in tents as women and to become the audience for these incredible women musicians. And so it was all done by women. The stages were built, there was food cooked for so many, to experience that, to experience together what we're capable of when there's nobody there to stop us, and to honor our talent.
Right.
We were at the height of that festival, which went on for 40 years.
Yeah.
We were up to 10,000 women
Okay.
in the woods together,
Okay.
listening to the most incredible music and the incredible messages by women, to trust ourselves, to trust our vision, to trust what we have to offer. It was a beautiful experience that I'm so grateful to have been able to have.
Yes. So, what do you think other people should know about your work as an environmentalist?
That it's critically important. That that and that we're capable of making change. And in that, when I'm thinking about my work in relation to the environment, well, for 20 years I grew organic food. That's what I did for my work. I'm back in the city now, and try to get to the country often. But that was an important time, not only because I was growing that food, but because I could invite people there to see what it was like to grow food without any chemicals, and to take care of that little piece of the earth of that time. But the question again was
About the environment.
about, yes, the environment. What I've learned as we continue to try to get big businesses to stop putting chemicals on the earth and ruining the water is to realize that we're up against something really huge, but to not be discouraged about it.
Okay.
And to keep going, because we have no choice, and because it's so painful to see what's being done to the earth and what's being done to people because of what's being done to the earth. And what I've learned over the years by meeting more and more and paying attention to more and more people who are speaking out for the environment, wonderfully, powerfully, more powerfully than I could even imagine speaking out, is the indigenous people of the world.
Yes.
And with that, and here's the connection back to women again, the indigenous women are coming forward as the protectors of the water, the protectors of the earth.
Yes.
And this is the leadership that the world needs.
True.
And this is why I come to believe indigenous people are so pressed down, because the big businesses who are ruining the earth know that they are the original and the continuing protectors of this earth and of the waters.
Very
And
true.
so in my travels across Canada, which is a big country, while many of us live in big countries, but I've driven across this country and tried and met some of the indigenous women leaders. And that has been one of the most powerful experiences I've had as an environmentalist, to be able to sit with these women and have guidance from them.
Yeah, fantastic. So, is there an achievement or contribution that you are very proud of? You want to talk about that?
Well, that brings me fast forward to very recently, because I've done everything that I mean, I've lived to see women become strong and women to become connected, and for us to be gaining some leadership in this world, because I know in my heart we are the ones who have been pressed down because we want to see a very different world where nobody is hungry and nobody is sick and everybody is taken care of. And it was finding World Pulse that really brought me into my dream come true, that we actually are able now to be connected with each other worldwide.
True.
And so many of us, I mean, 70,000 of us from 190 countries. I just love even saying those words. So that I loved becoming an encourager in World Pulse, responding to stories. And I loved becoming an ambassador because I felt as if my work traveling across the country and talking about making sure that what our work is global, what we're doing is global. Last January, when these awards came through for Encourager and Ambassador and Sisterhood awards, and that they were based on what members wrote in about who they thought should be recognized, I was just so amazed to be given the award for my work as an ambassador. It's as if my entire work from 1968 to now was recognized, and not just for me personally, but that all of the women that I've worked with all of those years is what I carry, and so all of that was recognized last January, and I'm still floating on that honor from my World Pulse sisters.
Congratulations. And I'm sure you deserve it.
Well, I think so many World Pulse women deserve it. When the awards were first being promoted for people to write in, I thought, but we all deserve it. Every single one of us who's working hard deserves it. But I did feel as if my 50 plus years of work was honored, and I just and also reinforced that what I'm doing now is working too. So that was I think my lifetime achievement was, and I'm still so honored.
True. So what attracted to you this cause, Tam?
Originally the cause of working for change for women, it started really early. I noticed things that shouldn't be happening. I noticed things that my mother couldn't have a bank account. And she fought to be able to have a bank account. She fought to be able to. She had 6 children. I have 5 brothers.
Okay.
Which gave me some research material as I was growing up. But
yeah.
But she couldn't take one of us to the hospital in emergency without my father's signature. And sometimes he traveled for work and she'd be in a panic. I mean, these are the things I noticed early on from the 50s.
Yeah.
And she also was very, very forward in her own way to insist that all my brothers do as much housework as anybody, that we were a collective, which none of my friends' brothers were having to do. So that, but then by the time I was in my teens, I was listening to my girlfriends describe to me terrible treatment by boys.
Yeah.
And I myself had, a stranger in the park approach me when I was 6, and men coming up beside me in their cars and showing themselves to me when I was 10. So my education that something needs to change was pretty early, and it just, of course, grew the more I became aware of.
Right. So how has this changed you, growing up with a strong mother?
Well, I thank her for being as strong as she was, and even she was much more shy than I am. I mean, I can be shy, but she was very, very shy. So I was also fighting for her because she would never dare to go on stage and speak or to approach strangers and speak out about this. And she was a little worried that I was too radical. But she did show me that that you can break the rules and you can make what you in your heart believe is the right thing to do.
True.
So she and other women before me showed me the way. And also, as I began to read, I was really shocked to find out that there was one book, the title I'll never forget, 100 Years of Struggle, women working for freedom for women 100 years before I was
True.
born.
True.
And then looking back and finding out how much of the history of women is hidden from us.
True.
And how many women have discovered a scientific project and a man took it over and got the Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
All of this enrages me and gives me fire to keep going.
Yeah. True. Very true. So, is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Just to believe, it's so important for us to believe in ourselves, to believe in our hearts, to believe in the changes that we know are possible, to read and understand how much of our own history has been hidden from us because now through women researching, I know that it wasn't always this way. We're continually taught that this is the way it is, this is the way it's supposed to be, men are supposed to be the leaders. But in fact, before about 1100 BC, before 1100 AD, there's all kinds of evidence from sculptures and from things like painting on rock of women who were honored, of women who were leaders and in ceremonies, and this is still true. Again, going back to the indigenous women who've never lost this, who are standing today and saying equality is the way that it used to be. Yes. And honoring in particular what women have to offer. So I believe that we're here as women to come together, put our heads and our hearts together, and bring forward what we know is possible. Yes. That there can be a world in which the earth is being taken care of and we're being taken care of, and it's a society of love, that nobody gets left behind and nobody is hungry. We're here to do this. And with COVID-19, it's been so amazing to see the coming together of women online. Yes. And there's World Pulse, and there are other large international women's organizations planning already. Okay, how do we do this? How do we bring what we know is possible forward? Now is our opportunity. Now is the necessity for women to be heard.
True. True. So it is fantastic having you on this platform. I am sure that we will have women of substance like yourself on this platform from around the world who will inspire and who has fought the battles which we could not even imagine or which we have never contemplated in our lives. So thank you so much for being here, Tam, and I'm sure that you will inspire a lot of young girls and women from around the world. Thank you for being here on this platform.
You're so welcome, and I just want to send so much love to all the young women. Trust yourselves, believe in yourselves. Don't let anybody tell you that your ideas are wrong. You are who is needed now.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you for being here, and we are actually honored.